Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about some news regarding The Walking Dead Dead City, and that is an interview with Lauren Cohan that just came out, in which she talked about a lot of stuff. She confirmed that she's going to be directing an episode of The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2. She talks about filming with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and also, talks about, I guess, this show ending at some point, and yeah, I do want to talk about exactly what she said here. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, I have two videos that might come out later on today. Well, one of them is for sure going to be coming out later on today. The one I'm posting later on today for sure is going to be my review of Season 5, Episode 11. I watched this episode because someone yesterday was saying, oh, you have to watch Episode 11 because, like, it's sort of a part 2 to the, Episode 10, which I reviewed yesterday. And I was like, you know what, maybe I actually will, because I kind of want to continue with where I left off here. And I remember, I think Episode 12 is when they get to Alexandria, right? So this one here I think would be perfect, just because I'm already set in the story. Just watch this one, and yeah, I watched it. I'll post my thoughts later on today, and then yeah, we'll see what other episode I end up watching. The other video that I'm going to be doing actually is I want to talk about an interesting idea that I had that I wonder if The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will do, and that is turning people into variant walkers. Because I don't know how crazy variant walkers can actually get, but a character like Caudron, just say, like, what if he actually became a variant walker? That could be a crazy reveal in like the season 2 finale, right? So yeah, I want to talk about that and get into some really interesting theory videos, because I haven't done any theory videos in a while. Like, it's literally been like the whole summer so far, I haven't done anything. So definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content. So Lauren Cohan is going to be directing an episode. She actually confirmed that. So first of all, I'll actually leave a link down below to this one interview here that I really recommend checking out. It's with Awards Buzz, actually, and they had an interview with Lauren Cohan, and they talked about quite a bit there. And honestly, I watched the whole thing. It's like the Walking Dead cast is just amazing. Like, every single member of the Walking Dead cast is just incredible. And yeah, so I'll leave a link down below to the actual interview here. It's about 15 minutes long. I really recommend checking out the whole entire thing. But we do learn that Lauren Cohan is actually going to be directing an episode, and I think right now they're filming episode 4, I believe. They're probably around like 4 or 5, so I'm assuming she's going to be directing episode 4 or 5, right? And I like this. Like, I really do like the fact that with these spinoffs, they're giving, the cast members some, time to, I guess, do certain things, like, creatively, right? Like, I know Norman Reedus, he hasn't really cared to do a lot of that. He's always been like, no, I'm just going to act. I'm just going to do this, right? Like, I remember he was asked a question at some point, regarding the spinoff, like, are you going to be directing or trying to write more or trying to do all this? And I think he was like, no, like, I'd rather have like new writers and, they can sort of come up with that. And then I'll be given the material and I'll be like, okay, what do I do with this sort of thing, right? Like, I feel like for certain people, I mean, obviously, like, they'll have different interests in different things, right? So it's kind of cool with Lauren Cohan. There was Denai Guerrera, Andrew Lincoln, they've all had interests, I guess, creatively outside of acting with The Walking Dead. So it's cool because it just adds that much more depth and involvement from the cast, right? Like, they actually care that much about The Walking Dead that they're involved in it so much, right? And I was thinking about it with this interview here, like after the interview anyways, like, it really is incredible when you think about it, like, with The Walking Dead. Like, it really is incredible to think about just how popular, this whole, I guess, just The Walking Dead in general is. Like, it really is, like, to have gone on for as long as it has, and the fact that it's still going to be going on for many years at this point, like, it's really incredible. And I think it says a lot about, fans really liking the stories, and also the stories that they're telling, the writers, just every one in the Walking Dead world, just sort of in general. Like, I think they're doing such an amazing job, and there's ups and downs, sure, and I feel like right now we're kind of in a bit of a down, just because The Ones Who Live, obviously, are like a really incredible series, but the ending it's very mixed for a lot of people, and that ending people get so upset about, but then there's other people who really love the ending, right? The way I see it is, like, this has happened before. So regardless of an ending or a story choice, like, this has happened a lot before. Rick and Michonne aren't done with their characters. That wasn't a goodbye to the characters. Like, Andrew Lincoln recently, like literally 3 weeks ago or something, was talking about going back to like simplistic survival horror, like with Rick Grimes. So at some point they're going to make an announcement of a new Rick and Michonne show. I think we will get another Rick and Michonne show before we ever get any sort of reunion with Daryl and all of that. And I think at that point, once we learn new details about that show, this and that, I think everyone's going to forget about the whole CRM arc, like at least the ending part to it, and we'll just be excited for this new thing, right? So to me, that's just sort of how things are. And I also think with the next 2 seasons here, like with Daryl Dixon and with Dead City, things are going to get really, really interesting. Especially Daryl Dixon, because again, Norman Reedus has been really hyping up the finale, and I do wonder if Caudron, or not even him, but just other characters, like could they be used to become variant walkers? I think that would be so, so cool to actually use characters and make them variant walkers. Like, it would just seem so insane, but the scene would be really incredible just to see Daryl's reaction to that, right? Lauren Cohan also talks about filming scenes with Jeffrey Dean Morgan just in general, and again, I think they're around episode 4 right now in terms of filming, and they're supposed to be filming for like the next month, maybe a little bit more, so like that does add up, right? So they probably have episodes 5 and 6 left. And if there is going to be a 7 and 8, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe filming is going to be extended. So we'll have to wait and see. Kim Coates, it's possible he just misspoke on it being at 8 episodes, even though he did say it twice, right? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The one part I found very interesting is when Lauren Cohan actually said that, if Maggie can continue to evolve, if she can continue to evolve with the character, and there's a good story, that she doesn't see a reason that this should end. And I thought that was a really, that's the thing I feel like all of the Walking Dead cast members are sort of feeling right now, just in general. Like, there's the whole thing about them, doing The Walking Dead for so long, just in terms of their own life, that the show being over and then them going out to go and do different things, like, it is something that is very new. It's going to be a little scary, and who knows what that can bring, right? And I think they all feel very lucky, and I think it's been like the appropriate amount of time has passed now where I feel like they all understand what life without The Walking Dead is like. And I'm not saying that they're with The Walking Dead because like financially it's awesome. I feel like that's a sort of a part to it, because I mean, everyone wants to make a living, right? Like that's just like, that's a thing. And so I feel like that's why they always leave that option there. Like they can come back to this. Like if they're not finding any roles out there, or you know what I mean? If things are just like whatever, then they could always come back to do something like this, and it would create a lot of excitement around, I guess, them just in general and with the character and all of that, right? So to me, it makes a lot of sense. Like I look at Andrew Lincoln, like he's been gone from The Walking Dead for like 6 years. I mean, the show's been over for almost 2 years now, but that's when he first left, and then he came back to do The Ones Who Live. And it's interesting when you look at the story choices and the way they've talked about playing these characters again, it's like, yeah, they're always leaving that option there. And if the story's really great and they can actually do it, and they'll come back to do it. And that's why I feel like with Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera, they are going to. Like, I don't think they want to do a show every single year. Like, I think that's something that they don't really want to do. But having a show come out every 3 or 4 years or something like that, I think is something that is probably a little bit more, interesting for them, because then they can do all these other side projects and all that in between, right? And that's what I find really incredible just in general as well, is the fact that, the stories have been really good. And I think AMC's decision to make these spinoffs, of the quality that they are with the higher budget is a reason why The Walking Dead sort of has this refreshing feel and why it can live on. Because I think if it was the way it was, then like you sort of could still do that, but then you're relying on all of the, I guess like the reunions or like crossovers, and then you have to sort of rely on all of that, these other spinoffs, and you got to do all that stuff. But I think having higher quality shows like this, people are going to watch, and when the writers, because there's all new writers for these shows, and all new like showrunners, and you can see with the spinoffs, like it's completely changed everything, right? So Lauren Cohan saying that, I think that's exciting, because yeah, if Dead City can go on for 10 seasons, do it. Like, I know I posted that yesterday on X, but like I really do believe that, like if you can make a really interesting story and it goes on for 10 seasons, then do it. Like, people are going to be upset about it because they're like, well, no, I just want this to end already. But like, I feel like with The Walking Dead, it's different because you're following the characters' stories and you're following their journeys. And the one thing that I've learned from watching this show for so long is that people sort of come and go, like in terms of the fans and whatnot. Like, people might be like, you know what, I can't watch this right now. But then in a couple of months that they catch up on it, or maybe it's a year, they'll catch up on everything. And then all of a sudden they get like excited and interested in the world again. That's just sort of, that's what the story is going to be. And like these bigger moments are going to happen. Like, we are going to get these big character deaths and all that. But I just think if the story is really good and it's exciting, that there's no reason to end it. Because if they would have ended it with The Walking Dead and never did these spinoffs, then we wouldn't have gotten variant walkers, right? Like the variants that we saw in Daryl Dixon. So that's what I mean. I want to see more of this stuff. Like, I really love this world. And maybe that's more of a personal thing for me, but like there's a lot of shows that I really, I always want to continue on, because like when I like something like that, I'm like, yeah, just keep doing it. Like if the people creatively still want to keep doing it, then just keep doing it, because I love the characters, I love the story, and I just, I want to live in this world for as long as I can. So to me, yeah, I completely agree with Lauren Cohan here. And she also talked about something that I found really interesting, that in terms of Negan and Maggie's relationship, there's something there that Maggie, like, it's almost like she needs him, but like she doesn't really necessarily know why, but it's, it's a reason why she won't like kill him, right? Because like she's never going to be able to forgive him or anything like that, but like why don't you just kill him then to get that, like, that revenge? Or like why can't you just like get over the situation? Or I know that's easier said than done, like no one ever really gets over something like that, but I just more mean like, just let it go a little bit more than she has, because she's still so connected with Negan, and he affects her so much, which I think obviously makes a lot of sense too. Lauren Cohan talks about that in an interview. She talks about, that whole situation and respecting the human condition, regarding all of that. And, I do wonder if it's Glenn, because like there's obviously something there that, and Lauren Cohan said this, that there's something there, there's something that you have to solve with why she won't just kill him. And I was thinking about it, like, I wonder if it's Glenn. Like, is there a connection there where she feels like if Negan is still around, there's like this connection to Glenn? I know it seems weird, but people in this world die so much, right? Like The Walking Dead, you're constantly losing people. Everyone you're meeting, like they might be gone in a week, right? Like that's just the way that the world is, And so I feel like for Maggie, if Negan is just gone, maybe it would take that time that, I know it was a horrible thing that happened then, but maybe it would make Glenn feel farther away, right? And so it's taking people away that knew Glenn. There's something there, because obviously she just won't kill him, right? Like there's something with the character where she can't just do that. And I think enough time has passed now where, you finally actually get to that point. Because I think in the first couple of years afterwards, yeah, Maggie was probably just going to kill him. But I think it's just been so long now that, she's known Negan for so long now that I feel like there might be a little bit of a connection there. Like maybe that's just me personally, but if you get rid of all the people that knew Glenn, or that, just remember him as a person in general, I feel like, the memory of him just goes away that much more. I feel like there's also a different part to this as well, because Negan, he actually feels so bad for what he did to Glenn, right? Like he feels so bad that he took Herschel's father away. And I feel like that could also help Maggie a lot as well, because it's just someone else also suffering, right? Like someone else suffering, the loss of Glenn. And I don't know, there's something there. There definitely is something there with Maggie that, she can't get rid of him. And I feel like this could be something here. We'll have to wait and see. Like, we'll see where Dead City goes with all of this, but I feel like that has to be a thing, right? But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here though. I'm really excited for Dead City Season 2. I really can't wait to see any more teasers, trailers. Comic-Con is like in a month from now, so we'll get a bunch more updates then. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.